Not a coincidence. Hyung Sik reveals Jungkook and Tae's secret that fans are talking about again. Before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because stories like this don't stay buried, and once you hear what you're about to hear, you'll understand why this conversation refuses to disappear. It started subtly. Almost too subtly. During a casual interview, Hyung Sik, an actor known for his warmth, his honesty, and his long-standing friendships in the Korean entertainment industry, was reminiscing about his early days, the people he met, the bonds that formed behind the scenes. Nothing dramatic. Nothing explosive. And then he said it. A single remark about Jungkook and V, Kim Taehyung, that instantly sent shockwaves through the fandom. At first, most people missed it. But in the BTS universe, nothing ever truly slips by unnoticed. Fans began replaying the clip, slowing it down, reading between the lines. Because Hyung Sik didn't just mention Jungkook and Tae separately. He spoke about timing. About proximity. About moments lining up in ways that felt planned even when they weren't. And that's when the alarms went off. Because BTS fans know something the rest of the world often forgets, some of the most important stories aren't told loudly. They're whispered. To understand why this matters, we have to rewind. All the way back to the era when BTS was still climbing, still being underestimated, still fighting for every inch of recognition. Jungkook, the golden magne, was barely a teenager when the spotlight found him. Tae, with his old soul eyes and unpredictable charm, was still figuring out how to exist inside fame without losing himself. And somewhere along that timeline, paths crossed. Not once. Not twice. Repeatedly. Award shows. Music programs. After parties no one filmed. Hallways where idols passed each other at 3 a.m., exhausted, half awake, guards down. Fans have long documented the coincidences. Jungkook and Tae appearing at the same events before their friendship was public. Wearing similar accessories months apart. Referencing the same obscure songs, the same books, the same late-night thoughts, without explanation. At the time, it felt like fandom overanalysis. Cute, maybe. Harmless. But then Hyung Sik speaks. And suddenly, those coincidences feel heavier. Hyung Sik has always been close to V. Their bond, forged through shared projects and mutual trust, is well known. He's not someone who exaggerates for attention. If anything, he's careful. So when he hints that certain relationships formed earlier, deeper, and more intentionally than fans were led to believe, it opens a door no one expected to reopen. What exactly did he mean by "they always seem to find each other"? Was it metaphorical or literal? In psychology, there's a concept called emotional synchrony, the idea that people who share intense experiences, especially under pressure, can form bonds that feel almost predestined. Soldiers talk about it. Athletes talk about it. Artists, especially young ones thrown into global fame, experience it intensely. Jungkook and Tae weren't just idols. They were teenagers navigating an industry that rarely allows softness. And sometimes, when two people survive the same storm, their connection leaves traces everywhere. Fans began connecting dots again. Old behind-the-scenes footage resurfaced. Moments once dismissed as playful suddenly felt intimate. A glance held too long. A laugh that lingered. Silence that spoke louder than words. And right in the middle of this renewed frenzy sits Hyung Sik's comment, calm, almost fond, but loaded. He didn't deny anything. He didn't confirm anything either. And that's what makes it dangerous. Because in K-pop, silence is never empty. There's a reason this conversation keeps coming back every few years, stronger each time. It's not about shipping. It's not about fantasy. It's about authenticity. Fans are drawn to Jungkook and Tae not just because they're talented, but because something about their connection feels real in an industry built on performance. So when someone like Hyung Sik, an insider, a friend, a witness, casually suggests that what fans sensed all along might not be imagined, it shakes the foundation. Was the industry trying to control a narrative? Were certain moments hidden in plain sight? Or are we, once again, underestimating how perceptive fans can be? Because here's the thing about coincidences, one or two can be dismissed. But when patterns repeat over years, across different stages of life, under different circumstances, they stop being coincidences. They become clues. And what Hyung Sik may have done, intentionally or not, is remind everyone that some stories were never meant to stay quiet forever. But this is only the surface. Because once you look closer at what he said, when he said it, and why it matters now more than ever, the implications become far bigger than anyone expected. And that's where things start to get uncomfortable. If you think you've heard the full story, you haven't. As the clip of Hyung Sik's words continued to circulate, something shifted in the atmosphere of the fandom. This wasn't just nostalgia talking. The timing felt deliberate. BTS were no longer rookies fighting to be seen, they were global icons, their past suddenly being re-examined under a different light. And that raised a chilling question: why now? Hyung Sik didn't say this years ago, when speculation was at its loudest. He didn't hint at it during variety shows, or fan meetings, or moments when curiosity could easily be brushed off as youthful imagination. He spoke now, when BTS's legacy is already cemented. When Jungkook and Tae no longer need protection from public opinion in the same way. Almost as if the truth, whatever version of it exists, had finally become safe enough to acknowledge. Fans noticed how careful his tone was. Not playful. Not teasing. Reflective. The story of Jungkook and Tae has always been more than rumor. It's been about connection in an industry designed to isolate. About vulnerability in a system that rewards distance. And Hyung Sik's words didn't create that story, they validated its persistence. In the end, maybe the real revelation isn't a secret at all. Maybe it's the reminder that authenticity leaves a trace. That real bonds, no matter how carefully managed or quietly protected, always find a way to surface. Years later. Through a memory. Through a single sentence that changes how we see everything that came before. So the next time you see an old clip, a lyric, a shared smile between Jungkook and Tae, ask yourself, was this really just a coincidence, or were we witnessing something real all along? Because some truths don't need to be exposed. They just need